Hello ladies and gentlemen, Sigvaldo Grim here, and in this video we are going to do something special. We're going to go back in time and go in each year and see what is going to be up in the 4th of July sale. Because as you know, 4th of July is coming, it's going to be the Independence Day for America, and since a very large portion of the Injustice mobile player base is going to be from America, they are surely to do an event about this each and every year, and in this year will be no different, so you should definitely save up your gems for that. So what we are going to do is that we are going to go back in time and look at every year at 2017, 2018 and 2019 and analyze everything that happened on the 4th of July, and after that we will draw some conclusions and think about what we can expect on this 4th of July. So with all that being said, like this video if you like it, dislike it if you dislike it, let me know down in the comments if you got any questions or if you want me to do history events on future events like this. And with all that being said, subscribe for more content like this and let's get into the video. First of all, we're going to start with 2017. And the 4th of July of 2017 was a very short time after launch. And back then there were simply not even many chests, and as you can see in the picture that I have put up on the screen, in the right you can see 20% off gem chest prices, and those were at that time I think the only two chests that were up in the store. And they were not even cutting the prices and putting them lower at this point. This photo is that old. So overall they reduced by 20% the price of the premium hero chest at that point and the hero chest. Not a fan of Deadshot, but if we get a premium hero chest reduced for Silver Banshee, Atlantean Armor Aquaman, Flora Poison Ivy, well, I'm not gonna say no. Those are good characters and the premium chests that are reduced are good, and also a hero chest reduced is also pretty good. This would be very great for the beginners that start the account right now to get those two chests reduced, and also for the players that are opening those chests, hunting for Arkham Knight Batman and hunting for Darkseid legendaries. Because as you may know, even though there's a very low legendary drop chance on the premium and hero chest, the only two characters that are legendary can drop from there are Arkham Knight Batman and Darkseid. So getting a reduction on the premium and hero chests would be great. And overall the event back then, because the Injustice Mobile just launched, it was simply nice of them to do something and they were like, hey look, the game is not old enough for us to be able to do something more complicated, but there you go, you get a little reduction on your chest. And I understand that and I respect that. Overall a pretty nice decision and a pretty nice event in 2017. Now let's move on to the 2018 one. In the 2018 one, you can see on the right the photo, and on the left I just wrote what they did, because they did not do that much this year. Like, they did less than in the first year. So all they did was they reduced by 25% they increased by 25% the amount of gems you would get from all the packs that will be in the offer store. And while that's pretty good, that's also pretty bad, because while this is a pretty decent thing for the people that are willing to spend money on the game, you are going to make this a holiday only for the people that are going to spend money on the game, and you are going to give a bonus only to those people. And this was a very bad event and it got a lot of backlash, especially on the Facebook page, and because of that they did never do this again. They never only offered the bonus to people that are going to pay money for that specific bonus. And that is why when there is a very bad thing in the store, like some of the offers that were lately in the special offer store, that's why I strongly advise you don't buy them. Because even though some of them might be decent, it's very bad that they are introducing gambling right now in the offers, and they look at feedback. Not that they would care about your feedback, but they care about sales. So if they introduce something that's very toxic, do not buy it. If they introduce something that is bad for the game, do not buy it. If you don't buy it and if they don't make good sales, they will notice, because they will hurt. So when something happens that is not liked by the community in general, you should avoid interacting with that thing, because that's how you give them feedback, by not supporting their decisions. With all that being said, 2018 sucked in terms of 4th of July events, but we are going to get right now to 2019, and 2019 was quite something to talk about. Okay, so in 2019, you can see on the right corner up, you can see the photo that was posted on Facebook. We basically got a 25% off for Wizard Chest, Classic Chest, and the Gear Material Pack Chest. And let's talk about each one of them. First of all, the Wizard Chest is a chest that has usually costs 300 gems. Did cost 300 gems back then, does cost 300 gems right now, and it was reduced by 25%, leaving it at 225 cost. So overall, this has a 3% chance to get Shazam, 2% chance to get Black Adam, 3% chance to get Sorcerer Dr. Fate, 0.46% to get a legendary character, 11.54% chance to get a gold hero character, and an 80% chance to get a silver character. So overall, this is a pretty good chest for the people that are unable to get Shazam and Black Adam from the arena. If you're able to get Elite 4 or Elite 2, this chest was and still is pretty bad for you, especially because it has a pretty high chance to get you Soulstealer Dr. Fate, and that's not a good character, and it also has a challenge. But overall, this chest being reduced made it a pretty decent chest, a pretty decent option for the players. Next up, I'll leave the gear boost pack for last. Next up, we are going to move on to the classic chest. The classic chest had a 3% chance to drop a Batman Ninja. Excuse me. The classic chest had a 3% chance to drop classic Batman hero, the 5% chance to grab classic Superman hero, and the 0.46% chance to drop a legendary hero, and an 11.54% chance to drop a gold character, and an 80% chance to drop a silver character. And this was reduced from 300 to 225. So I don't quite remember if Classic Superman was in the Arena store back then, so that's a factor to take into consideration if he was or he was not. And at the same time, Classic Batman is a character that is simply not used that often, and you don't see him that often in order to be able to do an opinion on it. So I haven't played the character myself, I haven't built the character, I have actually played the character myself, but I haven't built the character myself, so I don't know the full potential. So considering that right now Classic Batman is in the Arena store, and Classic Superman is in the Arena store, and Classic Batman is also going to be available through Arena invasions from time to time, and we are uncertain about the character, I'm going to say that this chest was not amazing, but it was still a pretty good chest if it was on sale. And right now, getting into the gear booster pack. For the new players that are newer to the game and haven't seen this pack before, this is not 4th of July specific pack, so please don't get your hopes up. This is not something that was a holiday specific. This was a thing that was previously in the game as simply a chest before they removed it last autumn. It was simply a chest that you could buy usually for 150 gems, and as you can see, you had pretty good chances to get some reforges, and if not, some gear materials. And I think it had a total of around 40% chance to get some reforges, and the lowest amount of reforges you could get would be 15. So you would go, even when this one is not on sale, you would go with 1,500 gems, buy 10 of those, and end up with a ton of reforges. Back then, reforges were not such a rare thing. Back then, everybody had enough reforges. Everybody was building characters like, I'm gonna make this character damage dealer, I'm gonna make this character tank. The reforges were so oftenly spread that everybody was also building their support characters. For example, Horrific Scarecrow is a character that you will use as a support in Arena, and I don't really recommend you build him because he's just sitting there as a support. Back then, people had so many reforges that they were even building their Horrific Scarecrows. It was crazy back then. And unfortunately then they realized that they can really monetize the gear booster pack, the reforges thing, so they took out the gear booster pack since it was very generous in terms of reforges, and never brought it back, unfortunately, and we're not likely to see it back in the future. This was an amazing chest, it would be great to have it back. It would be really good to have it back, trust me. But since then they have kept introducing other chests that had chances for material in reforges. They introduced the Easter chest that was straight up terrible. They introduced the anniversary chest, which was not as terrible as the Easter one, but compared to this one, and please look at the price, it was totally terrible compared to this one. So yeah, this is a chest of the past, a relic of the past that you can only look at and you'll most likely not see again. I'm sorry you didn't get the times back when the gear booster pack was a thing. I didn't really get many of them myself because I kind of started playing Just Mobile again right when this was starting to go away. So in my Just Mobile life, I think I have opened like 40 of those. There are people that have opened hundreds and they have profited a lot of this, and it's nothing wrong with that. There was a chest in the game that is unfortunately not anymore. Don't blame the player, blame the game for that not being there anymore. So with all that being said, the 4th of July of 2019, in my opinion, was amazing. Only for the gear booster pack, because you could get loads of them at almost no cost. So with all that being said, let's get into what I might expect from the sale of this year, but keep in mind it will only be predictions, and I'll keep it short because I don't want to keep rambling about predictions that might never come true. So what do I expect for the 4th of July of 2020? Well, first of all, they might introduce some sort of a gear pack, because they have introduced gear packs on Easter and they have introduced gear packs on the anniversary. So all the big events so far have had different types of gear packs. The Easter one was terrible. The anniversary one was a little bit better, but still we're not getting even close to the gear booster pack that I have showed you previously. So while I understand in a way that in terms of marketing you can't really sell the gear booster pack anymore, because you really need to make money off something, and this just gives away too much to the player, and I understand that. Try to do better. Like you saw that the Easter chest was terrible. The anniversary chest was a little bit better, but compared to the gear booster pack, still terrible. I'm not saying bring back the gear booster pack, even though that would be amazing, but try to do an even better job, and let's move on to better and better job until we see that you're giving us too much for our gems, and from then on you can just dial back down, but give us something better compared to what we got in the anniversary gear pack. Other than that, there might be some chests at 300 that will be reduced. Like last time in the Memorial Day we got like the Batman Ninja chests and the Justice League chests. This time we might get the League of Anarchy chest reduced. I would love to see a League of Anarchy chest that has characters that drop from it, not shards that drop from it, but that's just so far off. And something that I would like to see, and we might see because we have seen before, is premium chests that are reduced. Like if you're going to reduce by 25% Silver Banshee premium chest or a Flora Poison Ivy premium chest, I'm all for that. Just bring it on. This is going to be amazing for the new players in the game. And other than that, I'm not really sure what to tell you. There could be another random 300 gems chest that is going to be reduced. They also might add a pack in the offers with a bundle of everything that you can buy, as they did in the anniversary, and I'm not sure the Easter, but they might have done. So with all that being said, this is what I'm expecting from the anniversary, and what I'm saying is like don't do it all at once, but at least keep doing a better and better job, please. So with all that being said, this was everything I had to show you and say to you this video. Tell me if you want me to cover in the future more content like this, because doing like a history of events has two roles. First of all, it has the role that we can compare the past events to the current one that will appear, and secondly, it serves as a warning to the new player, like, hey, an event is coming up, save up your gems because you might get some good deals over here. So for those two purposes, I think those videos are worth it. Let me know what you think about this down in the comments. Like this video if you like it, dislike it if you dislike it, subscribe for more content like this, maybe hit that bell button to get notified for every single upload, and I'll see you in the next one.